We're going to go ahead and get started.
You turned the light on the bottom.
Oh, welcome everybody to the Kechi City Council meeting. It is February 27th, 2025, and it is now 7 o'clock. Debbie, please call roll.
Here.
Here.
Here. Here.
All right, if everyone please stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is approving tonight's agenda. Council, any questions or comments about tonight's agenda? Matt, do we have an executive session? No. So we can strike item 11. Any other questions, Council?
No.
All right, I would entertain a motion.
Move we approve the agenda with striking number 11 for executive session.
Second. I have a motion by Todd, second by Karen. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries 5-0. Move on to approving the consent agenda. Council, any questions about tonight's consent agenda? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. I have a motion by Matt, second by Kendra. All in favor say aye. Carries 5-0. Move on to the communication section, Kechi Civic Groups and Committees. And we have Kechi Civic Groups and Committees here tonight. Welcome, Jared.
Good morning, Eric. I'm Jared Kruger at Chief Welfare, here on behalf of the Kechi Fair Committee. Remember back in January, I brought it to the board's attention that we needed 5 new members to join the fair committee to make the fall fair happen this year. When we put a deadline on that as by our February 20th meeting. So with the February 20th meeting, we had cold weather, so we had moved our meeting to February 25th. We have only received 2 people at that meeting to join the fair committee. So that we are still missing 3. So we did not get the 5 that we needed, that we had asked for. We had taken another consideration in maybe pushing it to March, but we just decided at this point, I mean, we had said February 20th was our deadline, so that's what we had decided with. So there will be no fair this year. As of right now, our smaller events are still going to happen. So like Easter, Christmas, Halloween, so forth, something like those smaller events that we're going to do are still going to happen this year. And we'll just have to reevaluate when next year comes. But just as far as the big fair, we're not going to. We don't have the manpower to make it happen for what kind of manpower it takes. So, and I mean, we hate to see it, but maybe hopefully this will open up some people's eyes in the community. Say, hey, let's bring the fair back. Let's get the fair committee the help they need, and we can get it brought back next year. Another thing that had been brought to my attention at our fair meeting was that they had a couple of businesses that were looking at trying to purchase the fair building and to repurpose it as a business. As a fair committee, we would like to see it used for better things versus having a business take it over. We see it as it shouldn't be the city's responsibility to help provide a historical city building to be turned into a business. So I mean, as we said, we think there's better options to use that building for versus turning it into a business. So if you, whenever that time comes, if you keep that in consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other civic groups or committees that would like to speak? Seeing none. Move on to Kechi Good News. Council, any Kechi Good News? Well, I just want to give a shout out to Public Works. The foot of snow that they took and The amount of time and effort that they put in was incredible. I know that some people were still unhappy with how we built the roads, but I, for one, am glad that I could get out of my street and be able to go. I know many municipalities don't do side streets, so I definitely appreciate them for that. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else, council?
I just want to give a shout out to the police department for what happened recently, and in particular the chief for sticking with the family for an extended period of time. I can appreciate what that must have been like. So, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. That was my council report.
Oh,
I don't have to say it anymore. So,
I got you.
again, thank you, Chief. So, we appreciate you. All right. Any other future good news? I don't want to stop it. All right. We will move on to public comment. Debbie.
Jody Harris.
All right, Johnny. Okay.
Okay. Jody Harris, 109 West Chippewa Street. Sorry, excuse me. Madam Mayor, members of the council, tonight I come forward with gratitude. I would like to thank Councilmember Brewer that you've brought opening prayer to some of our council meetings recently, and I really appreciate that. In addition, I'd like to thank city staff as well as Councilmember Hedstrom for the work that you did to get the intersection schedule available for the public. That is greatly appreciated. And in addition, I'd also like to thank the Kechi Police Department for your dedication to the coffee and community time that we had. That was a really nice time to gather together. And finally, I'd like to thank this council for the action that you took at the end of last meeting's council meeting, or the action you took at the end of the council meeting last time, and that you transparently shared with public decision that you were making. And so I really appreciate the increased transparency, and I hope that it continues. So thank you very much for serving our community.
Thank you. Good. All right. We will go ahead and close public comments for the evening. Move on to item 7A, BCBS of Kansas, health insurance renewal.
Yes, Mayor and Council, before you is our annual renewal for employee health and dental benefits. This comes to you each year to approve. Nothing has changed on our plan. We are still under what they call a grandfathered plan. A grandfathered plan doesn't contain or have to have a lot of the Affordable Care Act provisions in it. So historically, those plans have richer benefits and lower premiums. So that's kind of what we're seeing here as well. Our premium for the health portion this year increased 4.76%, and the dental portion increased 3.44%. Our agent told us that the non-grandfathered plans saw about a 22 to 25% increase. So we're fortunate we're still under that plan. The only exception to that is we cannot change anything on that plan or we have to go to a traditional plan. So we will try to stay with that as long as we can. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
When we had budgeted about 20% for that,
15%.
15%,
Yes.
so we budgeted that.
Any other questions, Tom?
I just want to comment that that's great. Tristan and Spirit is about 20% increase what we possibly should, so for us to only increase 4.76% is great for us.
Yes.
And I know we debated that grandfather plan before, but now we're seeing the reaping the benefits and sticking with it.
Correct. Yeah. And I might also share that the split between city and employees, city pays 90% of the benefits, employees pay 10%. So it is not 100%. So employees do have a little bit of stake in it, which is good.
I'm just gonna make us, they probably raised mine because of all my claims.
You're the boat anchor.
You're better than one, huh?
Yeah.
not, I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the policy renewal of March 1st, 2025 through February 28th, 2026 with Blue Cross Blue Shield and Delta Dental as presented and authorize the city administrator to sign.
Second.
I have a motion by Matt, motion by Matt, second by Todd. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carries 5-0. Move on to item 7B, investment of idle funds designated as, sorry.
Mayor and council, this agenda item before you is not anything you need to make a decision on. It's more for transparency issues, to let council and the public know what we're doing with the investment of our idle funds. Currently, they're held with the Kansas Municipal Investment Pool. Many cities over the year have housed their idle funds with the investment pool. Local banks in different regions are now coming out with municipal plans, whereas by moving that money locally, where it can be reinvested locally, they are offering higher returns on that money. So, Emprise Bank, who is our designated bank for the city right now, came in and offered us higher rates for those funds to be transferred over to them. In addition to that, it makes it a lot easier for staff when we have to do transfers. For instance, when we have a bond payment, we transfer from our investment pool to our checking account at our local bank, and it's a very arduous process to go through. You have to go through all these logins and validations and do a wire transfer, and then there's fees, yet small, like $30 attached to those. With Emprise, there are no fees, so we can move that money back and forth seamlessly when we have to make those transactions. So I will try to answer any questions I have. I included a little bit of information from our banker on this. And just wanted to let you know what we are doing as staff. City ordinance allows staff, specifically the city clerk, to manage those idle funds. So this is what we intend to do.
Any questions, council? Thank you.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I just see in the document that you gave us that we would be earning a little bit more, about 0.38% according to your calculations, and about almost $21,000 more per year, which I think is a fiscally responsible
Yeah, depending on
action.
our current balance.
Yeah, depending on
Yeah,
balance.
So,
I mean,
yeah, so that's not
a hard
that's
and
not
fast
the-
rule.
But that's an average.
Right.
That we would be earning above and beyond what we are earning right now.
Right. And add in the lack of fees and the time savings by your staff.
Correct.
Or I think is great. So I think it's fiscally responsible and a good move.
Thank you.
And this all kind of came about from our new financial people, or how did we kind of?
No, our bank
start?
approached us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
approached us with this, and there's been discussion amongst our city manager group in this area. Other cities are looking at doing this as well. It's something fairly new that local banks are trying to do. Matt may know a little bit more about it, but anytime you can bring those funds locally and they can be reinvested in the community, to help the community, and we can reap the benefit of a higher return rate on those, I think it benefits everybody.
And those are managed by Enterprise?
Emprise, yes,
Enterprise.
yes.
Any other questions, council? Great discussion, thank you guys. Move on to item 7C, discussion at Old City Hall.
Yes, Mayor and Council, another discussion-only item. Over the past year, I've been approached by several local businesses inquiring about what we intend to do with the old City Hall. I think a lot of people see it sitting there, kind of dilapidating a little bit. Colors are getting faded on it, and have had some interest in either purchasing that property or leasing it. One of the reasons that was explained to me is just the lack of commercial spaces in town right now. So our local businesses are looking for places to go so they can stay locally, so they don't have to move to Wichita. And when they come to me, I really don't have a good answer for them, because that is a decision the city needs to make. And I thought maybe through some discussion tonight, it might give us a little bit of direction moving forward, just to does need a lot of work done to it. One thing I will update from the agenda summary is the water is back on. Thomas had told me a while back that that water line had broke and had cut water off to it, but they have since got that fixed, so it does have water restored to there. Currently, the city pays utilities, roughly $2,500 a year for electric. About $100 a month for gas. I don't know what our portion of our insurance premium is for that building, but I can find that out and bring that back to council. So, roughly the city's investing $2,500 to $3,500 a year in that building as it sits right now. So, one thing I would like to get from council is kind of, number one, what you want to do with it, and if you want to start building the maintenance of that facility into our budget, because it's gonna start requiring some maintenance. The siding, the metal siding's starting to rust on it. I think probably those water lines need upgraded a little bit and some things done to it, so we just don't want it to become, number one, an eyesore, number two, something that's gonna cost us a lot of money to get back in shape in 5 to 10 years. We'd rather do it a little at a time. So I will open it up to you.
I'll open it up to council to start.
So I know we talked about this in years past, and a couple issues. One was storage of their committee's stuff that they had in there. And then my second comment would be a question for Thomas. Is there any asbestos issues in that building? Do you remember?
I can answer that. We don't know.
We don't know.
Possibly, but we don't know. It's never been tested. Thomas thinks the only place there may be asbestos is in some floor tiles that are in there, but the building has never been tested. So we do not know. I know there was that statement made some years ago, and there's always been the perception that it's had asbestos in it, but we do not know that for a fact.
How old is the building?
It's a good question. Thomas, do you know? Oh, it was probably built in the 40s or 50s.
70 years, probably.
I had some pictures out.
You may have some more
I
history.
have
Yeah,
some
I was gonna
pictures
say.
out. I was gonna bring from when they first had their open house, when it first opened, but I can't remember the year on that picture. I don't remember. Anyways, I know the Arts Council. I don't know, Matt. How long have you been around your council? The Arts Council told me they originally had plans and blueprints and everything of their plan to like renovate the building. Did they
I don't
come?
remember that really good
Okay.
for my time.
Okay.
I've been on council 6 years.
I've asked them to find those documents just so we can see what the plan was. Then I asked, well, who was going to fund that? And they said, well, we're going to ask the city. So, okay.
They also said in conjunction with grants, they would help
Yes.
write grants to do that. But, I mean, I'm with Kendra on this. I would like to keep the Fair Building Old City Hall and try to revamp it and make it nicer. But utilize it for a purpose, have the community, almost make it maybe another community room, potentially do something for seniors. I know that's been a hot topic item, but it's been a hot topic item for years, so we should do something for seniors, and that might be a good place to start.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So,
I'm really just curious how much, like, the cost, what's it gonna take?
Yeah, and I don't know that. That's
Yeah.
what I'd have to research. Todd, maybe you have an idea of what it costs per square foot to remodel a commercial building. I don't know.
It completely depends on what you want to do with it
Yeah.
and
What you
what
find
state it's in, and then where you want to go with it. But I mean, that can be anything from, $50 a square foot to over $100 a square foot.
Okay. We'll look into that and get some,
How many square feet is it?
I don't know.
Do we know?
Thomas, do you know? Probably 2,000?
2,000, give or take?
Is it that big? 1,400. Yeah.
Doesn't it? It's a little bit deceiving. You look at it from the outside and you're like, that's a small building. And you get inside and there's a lot of space in there. There appears to be a lot of space, yeah.
I just think it should be preserved, I don't think we should
$50 a square foot, that's 70,000, that's significant costs that they have to plan for.
Right. Yeah, and that's what we need to do, if that's the direction we want to go, is start planning for that over the next maybe 5 years or so.
This probably goes without saying, I agree there's historic significance in this building, and I think it's worth saving. But I think it's also important to include the community in the decision, particularly if we're going to be spending additional money. Because we need to get their buy-in to make sure that this is something that they want to do. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
I completely agree. I know that's why Kendra brought it to the fair committee, and I know we wanted to bring it up again. This was just, we had fair and then we had this, so we wanted to have the conversation out there first before we just went out and
Yes.
put information out there without all of the facts of what's actually going on. So,
Just as my comment is, I do not want to, I would be against selling that property. That it just doesn't fit with the zoning, we'd have to rezone and split the lot and everything else, I don't think that makes sense. I know we talked legally, is there any concern of leasing it to a business, as a city?
There's not any legal concern per se. However, once you're permitted to do that. Once you do, that makes the property that the lease is a part of property taxable. And so the 2 things I would say about that is, 1, just understand that. And 2, if we were to go down that path, my recommendation would then be, we should do some kind of, whether it's a formal lot split or whether it's just getting a separate tax parcel done, you will want to shrink that so that, you don't accidentally put this city hall on the taxes just because it's all on the same lot right now.
I don't know that I agree with selling it, but, I mean, it's possible it would be a beneficial income stream for the city. But, again, I think we need to hear from the citizens what their thoughts are.
Okay, well, from what I hear, correct me if I'm wrong, it is the majority of the council wants to keep the building, do not want to sell it. We would prefer not to lease it and use it as a community type facility, whether it be a senior center or a type of meeting room, or continue to use it as storage for our community boards. And staff, we will research what it would cost to do some renovations to that. Thomas and I will get together, look at it, to see what needs, does the heating and air need upgraded, does the plumbing need upgraded, and put some of those figures together and bring those back to you in a couple months.
And this
And
may
in
sound like an odd, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, and thirdly, is, we'll plan for like a workshop with the community to kind of get some direction and input from them as well.
I'm just curious if it's, if it would qualify as a historic building, and would there be any grants available for that to help offset the cost?
Yeah, good question, we'll check on that as well.
In the long run, it's pretty cheap storage. We're spending $2,500 to $3,000, that's $200 to $225 storage, as long as the building's safe for the fair committee and people to
And the
use.
stuff that's being
And
stored in it.
also, you don't want it to become an eyesore
Correct.
as well, so. But it is pretty cheap storage.
Okay, that's the direction we'll head in. Okay. Thank you.
all right, we'll move on to old business. We have no old business. And then we'll move on to item 9, council reports. Any council members have a report? Fine, I'll do my 2 things.
Sorry to ruin that for you.
It really is. So it was a pretty light month this month for me, which was okay because February was a short month. But I went to the fair committee meeting, and we got 2 new members members, thank you. Tell your husband, Bob, thank you for joining the fair committee. And we also had a very lovely woman from Rock Point who is going to join as well. Her name's Macy. And so we're very excited to have them both, and we really appreciate their dedication to Kechi. The other, I didn't have any other meetings except for, talking to Matt every so often. So that was my time, but my full report, and I forgot to print off, will be in the agenda packet for next time for people to review. And just a reminder, the Easter egg scramble for the Kechi Fair is April 5th at 2 p.m. at Kechi City Park. Be there, be square. So I have no other council report, and we'll move on to staff reports. Public Works. Hi, Thomas. I haven't
Hello.
seen you in forever.
Seems like forever. You should all have my report in front of you, I'm hoping. For some reason I couldn't pull up on my phone, so I had to print it off, that's why I was a little late. I don't know, my Outlook is not working, so. Like we do every month, read gas and water meters. This month we had a lot of getting ready for snow impacts, so. With the second storm, we used all our brine, so we were busy making lots of brine. In the future, hopefully we have another way of making it a little faster. We're really down to the way we make it in a small town, so we're about 400 to 500 gallons a day is what we can make. So these other cities can make about 5 to 10 a day, so it takes us a week to do. We've spent quite a bit on snowplow blades this year. I think we bought 4 sets this year. Normally we haven't bought 4 in probably the last 5 years. So guys worked 20 hours straight. Came in Monday about 1 o'clock in the morning, didn't finish until about 11 the next day. So hats off to Vern and Earl for getting out there and clearing those roads. And this time we didn't get a whole lot of griping and complaining, so hopefully everybody appreciated, and we're actually able to get to the side streets and get those clear. I know that people don't like when we push the snow back in front of the drives after they've already cleared it, so if you wait, we'll get there eventually, and then you can clear it then. Had some broke meters during that time, this freeze off, so we had some people that didn't have gas for a while, and had to get out there obviously and get those folks on, even though we were still trying to push snow. Had some frozen water meters. Honestly, if we can get people to start turning off their sprinklers and having them blown out, it would save us a trip out to turn people's backflow devices off. So key to that. Rock Point seems to be one of the biggest headaches when it comes to that. So flush, blow them out and get them clear for the winter. Had a few of those. First of the year, a lot of PHMSA reports done that need to be done to the federal government. KDHE likes to come in and get our water reports. Federal government likes to know how much gas we sold, how much gas we lost. Doing that report, we were right around 1%. Last year we were about 0.39%, so we were a little higher this year. That's to be expected with all the gas line replacement that we did through this year. As long as we stay under 4%, we won't have PHMSA or NTSB or anybody in here inspecting us like they're out there in Hutch right now. So the farther they stay away from me, the better. I do expect KDHE to be in here. We're on our 3-year rotation, so this is the 3rd year. We will have the KCC in here inspecting us, and we will have KDHE in here inspecting our water and stormwater reporting. So just trying to get ready for that. What's kind of crazy is when we have the federal guidelines and federal testing, when KCC comes in here, they actually go out and test us on our training. So we'll actually go out and want to see the guys in action. Obviously, if they don't pass in front of them, then I got to retrain. So hopefully, we've just been working on that, going through OQs, gas line hits, gas line. This month is, so the mailing's sent out. Hopefully everybody got them and filled them out and sends them back and gets their $100, if they're drawn. So, hint, hint, everybody who's in here that needs some money off them high gas bills I hear about. So, just out doing inspections. We did change the lights in the community room to new LEDs. They're about 140 watts a piece, and we went to about 30 watts, so we cut 0.25% on each light. we will be replacing the ones in here and throughout the city also, so whatever we can do to try to save money, hopefully the changing of the lights when we pay for them will pay for themselves in 6 months to a year, so 15 to 20 year lights, so we should get quite a bit back on that. Other than that, just trying to get ready for the warmer weather. Was actually out putting in gas lines today, so.
Thomas, could you update him a little bit on some of the pressure issues we were having and some of the things we did to resolve that?
Yeah, so through the very first winter storm, we actually dropped to about 8 pounds of pressure out at Rock Point. Our EFD valves only work, they work and they shut down as long as your pressure is above 10 pounds. So we got really close to maybe losing Rock Point. The regulator station we have, the regulators that are in there are 60 years old plus. They were put in 1959. So the regulator, I bought 2 new regulators to replace. We upped the pressure from 28 pounds to 40 pounds in the city. As soon as we replace the next regulator next week, it'll be up to 45 pounds. So we'll see a significant uptick in that pressure. The problem is that feeding out to Rock Point in that area, though it's 6-inch line out there, it's really got an 1.25 inch or 2-inch steel line that runs underneath the railroad tracks. That was put in 1959, and there's only so much volume we can push out there. So eventually, we're gonna have to look into upsizing. Getting a hold of the railroad is extremely hard. So if anybody's got a number or a hookup at Union Pacific that I could use, I've been calling that guy every day or once a week for the last 2 months, and haven't got a call back. So after this last ice storm we went out, it was -27 with the wind chill. Rock Point was still at 32 pounds. So great news on our part. I told Matt, I said, well, we might have to hold up and wait before we start building anything else out there, but it looks like good signs that those regulators and changing them out helped. They also have bigger orifices in them. We went from a 7/8 to 1.125 inch orifice to get some more pressure out there. Then we reached out to Southern Star, which is who our provider is, and they upped their pressure from 60 to 80 pounds for us on the backside. And that's the max that the city can push into is 80 pounds. So we're tapped out on their end, and so we're just growing, and as we grow, we'll just try to hit all these challenges head on and do what we can do. Not all. So
Thomas does a great job at specifically the gas system. He and Earl know that thing like the back of their hand. And when he comes to me with a problem, I just listen to him and say, we'll figure out how to do it, we'll do it. So, but like he said, having enough gas pressure is vitally important, because what he was talking about is there's a valve in the system that if it drops below a certain pressure and there's a problem with the line, it automatically shuts that line off at 10 pounds. If it's under 10 pounds, it doesn't activate that valve, so it continues to spew gas. So it's part of the safety that's built into those systems, and maintaining that pressure is vitally important. So, and being as cold as it was, we had a lot of consumption too. So
Yeah.
I want to read a text to Thomas that I received from a resident, just about a quarter of a mile this way over here on February the 19th. What's the name of the head of the maintenance department here in Kechi? They changed our gas regulator yesterday in the frigid cold. They were so kind and helpful. We wanted to send a thank you card.
that would have been Earl.
I said Thomas Bevan is the director of public works. The older guy who does all of the work is Earl. And
it's gonna be hard when he leaves. So
Yes.
he's my right
Very
hand.
much
So at the end of the year, when he decides to retire, but at 72, I mean, I can't blame him. I mean, I think he still wants to come back part-time afterwards, but he doesn't want to do it full-time.
Well, what I appreciated about that text was the resident said how kind and helpful he was, when he went out there to change it in the frigid cold. So that's great customer service.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I expect from him, even at -27. Well, that's what they give all the time, and maybe he slipped that guy some money.
Well, Thank you very
One of
much.
the perks of living in a small community.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thomas, one of the questions back on the frozen, blowout valves or backflow valves. Who is responsible when it's a duplex and rented? Is it the property owner
For,
blowing out the system?
it's
You know?
the owner.
It's the owner of the property.
Yeah, it's the owner, it's not the rentee, so anything, you know, that goes through there is the owner's
I mean, there's
responsibility.
a lot of duplexes out there, and maybe that's something we can talk to the owners about, because the renters aren't gonna do that.
No, that particular one, I've been out there 3 times before. So I actually walked over and shut the backflow device off. And I think the particular person had a daycare out of there, so they didn't want me to shut the water off. And I've told her, you know, if it's the water meter, I have to call the owner. That's not up to you to decide, that's the homeowner's responsibility and their decision, so that's between them, and the last thing we want to do is be in a drought and somebody's water just spewing all over the place, so.
Well, thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate you. Police.
All right, hey, it's been a busy month. Police department's been exceptionally busy, but a lot of good things going on. I had to take a couple extra notes here that I wanna, add to the report, but, we're set to fill a vacant position, with a 5-year veteran. He will start with TO March 10th, so that'll be his first day on the job, which is great because we just cut Officer Mounts loose off of FTO. So he is now in his position, working full-time for us, so that'll be an extra patrol car out. No spot filled, so with this position that we gave the conditional offer to, it leaves us with 1 position left. We've got a couple people in line for that we're currently vetting to, kind of get the process going with that, so hopes are we'll be full-time here in the next month or so, maybe 2 months, and have that 24-hour coverage we've been working towards, so. Vehicle maintenance continues to kind of plague us. We're working on a plan. We've had some officers buy in to the agency, which is great, because they wanna take on these projects, they wanna take on some different things. One of the things our officer looked into was an enterprise leasing program, which a lot of municipalities do. Unfortunately, it was not cohesive to our size. Enterprise wanted 10 vehicle lease minimum, and there's just no way we can even come close to that. So, what we started looking at was the model that the Kansas Highway Patrol uses, where they run a 3-year fleet, 3 years, 49,000 miles. And what that allows is for them to get an optimum return on their investment when it comes to trading value. I also spoke with the chief of Eastboro. They do something similar, but they cut their mileage back to, I think, 30,000 miles, which is still 3 years for us. You know, with a 30,000 mile car, we're looking at a cost of about $7,000 to $10,000 to replace a vehicle at that point. That vehicle will remain under factory warranty the entire time it's in our fleet. They still honor the warranty even though it is a fleet vehicle, and saves us vehicle maintenance. Put an example in here, like on car number 18, it's cost us about $15,000 so far in the last 2 years, which is outrageous. It just keeps going down on us, so. We will send her out to pasture in the next couple months. We're gonna roll 23 in, my current patrol car. We'll get it upfitted, ready to go, the next month or so, and then I'll just drive POV until we get the truck in, and then I'll take on the truck, but, it's just come to a point where 18's costing us too much money to keep it on the road. So, Coffee with the Cop was a success. Looking forward to more of those meetings with our community. We'll continue to do that, hopefully once a month. Again, officer buy-in is big on that. They'll schedule that and kind of get it going, so be keeping an eye on the Facebook page to keep that going. This month's coffee was a little sweeter, you know, got to spend some time with somebody there, so I don't wanna get into details, but, you know, that's what it's about, getting the community together and then having that time together, so. Training right now, we're in full swing with departmental training. Sergeant Allen is currently in the FBI LEDA trilogy process, so that's a 3-week training program put on by FBI, law enforcement, executive development So he finishes up, his first week block, tomorrow, and then we'll be looking to get, the rest of that finished up by December. I was fortunate enough to get a grant for command school this year, which is typically a $5,000 school. We were able to get it for $1,000. That's a 300-hour comprehensive 12-month program. So that was where I was at today, just made it back in time to get to the meeting, but every month I'll leave town for a couple days to go train and then have homework and capstone project and all the similar stuff you do with kind of a master's degree. So we're working on that. That's good. So a lot of training going on. And yeah, that about rounds it up for the police department. So.
Awesome. I just want to say thank you so much for what you did. I won't go into it either, but I do want to say thank you for the amount of gratitude and service that you did. I did reach out to her, and she told me how wonderful you were. So thank you so
Thank you, I
much.
appreciate that. It's a team thing, man. I mean, we dumped house and did what we could do, but I'm just grateful we were all here. So thank you all.
Thank you. All right, planning, zoning, storming, code enforcement, and anything Dustin does.
All right, thank you. Zoning, there are, plats are coming through the planning commission. They're gonna be headed to council here at the next meeting. And, no March planning commission meeting. Anything that was submitted was after the deadline to get it within the paper and get things started for March, so it's gonna be pushed back to April. IT, no updates. Stormwater, the MS4 report for 2024 is gonna be turned in tomorrow. It was looked over today with myself and PEC. Everything looks good on it. We've just got a few more changes to make, and it should be submitted by about 9 o'clock tomorrow. Code enforcement, no updates. It's been quiet, but with the weather, I expect it to pick up.
Awesome. Any questions?
All right.
None. Thank you, everyone.
Yep.
Administration.
Man, it's hard to follow all that stuff.
I know.
Those are the people that are out here working and keeping the community safe and fixing things, and it's really kind of my job just to make sure everything stays between the curbs. But with them out there doing what they're supposed to do and all the expertise we have on staff, it makes my job pretty easy sometimes. So I appreciate all of them, from the police department to planning and zoning to Thomas and his guys. Hats off to Thomas and his guys, especially this time of year when they're out there in that cold, clearing the streets. We did have a little bit of an appreciation luncheon for them, just to tell them thank you for their long hours and all their hard work this week. So again, thank you and your guys, and Chief, thank you and your guys for being out too. So I don't have anything to add. I do want to talk briefly. Last month when we had our financial analysis update, one of the things that was in there was our water fund and looking at increasing water rates. So I provided the council with the last utility rate study that was done for the city. We're going to post it on the website so everybody can see that plan. It's a ton of information. It'll take a while to digest, but we do need to start talking about what we're going to do for utility rates, specifically our water rates, because we're starting to go in the red because there has not been any progressive increase on those. So we need to look at those, figure out what's best for the community, the right way to go about adjusting those, and we will make sure that it's a very transparent process, that the community's involved, that there's much public discussion, much public input, and that all the information that we have is going to go out to the community as well. So I don't expect any answers from anybody tonight. I don't have any solutions. The report is very good. There are some things that need updated in it because it is going on 5 years old. So we'll probably need to adjust some of that information. We can do that. I'll reach back out to the firm that did the study and see if they can provide us with a little bit of updated information, hopefully at no cost to that. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me, and we will kind of start here and start moving forward in that process of looking at those rates and rate adjustments. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. I do have one question.
Yes.
So not about water, I guess. I know this is starting to be budget season and Sedgwick County is starting their budget retreats and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of wondering what our timeline is looking like for that, like when we might see a budget workshop of some sort.
Next month I will put out a schedule, we're
Okay.
just closing out our budget from last year, finishing that up. All of that's going to the auditor, he will start his audit process early, which is a critical part of developing the budget. So I will put a timeline out for council
Okay.
on that, yes.
Wanted to bring it to everybody's attention, it's coming back,
Yeah,
so.
we as staff look at it every single day.
Yes. But for our eyes,
Yes,
it's
yes.
helpful to keep that in our forefront, so.
Yep.
All right, I don't have any other questions. Council, any other questions? Okay. Well, last item on the agenda is adjournment, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion by Karen, second by Todd. All in favor say aye.
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 Carries by vote. We are adjourned.